Hello everyone and welcome to this video, the final one of this series, episode 4, all about Alex. I love the reddish pinkish hue here in game, or glow. It's gorgeous. Yeah, final one already. I mean, these kind of things, can never get enough of it. Storyline quest, yeah, could play it forever. And in the original games there was also a sort of bonus level-ish thing. After this it was just very simple, just a green field you could ride over, and then you could choose whichever Soul Rider you wanted to play as, and then what horse you wanted to ride. Yeah, it was just a small thing, but yeah, I appreciate all those little small things, and I would have liked to show it to you as well, but it's not part of this on the website, not part of the game, unfortunately. Oh wow, would have liked to do that as well, but yeah. It is nearly impossible to buy these games nowadays. Yeah, I guess there are ways to download it then, but I'm not going through the fuss just for that bonus level. Maybe I'll show some pictures of it or something. Perhaps somebody else has already played it. Yeah, there's no avoiding Mrs. Graham. Yeah, Alex is not a girl to sit in class all day. He's gotta do something. Really physical hard work. Yeah, Alex is more of doing the simpler work. Nothing wrong with that, by the way. Simple work is good and very needed. Like mucking out stables, for example. That kind of work is also, it's a bit therapeutic, honestly. Yeah, okay. Sometimes it can also be annoying, because the muck, it never ends. Never does, really. And in winter it's also harder because, well, especially when it's like so muddy here in the Netherlands, your wheelbarrow will be heavier. But most hard girls like me, we refuse to walk twice. We'd rather have one heavy wheelbarrow, or extra heavy, than having to walk a second time with a less full wheelbarrow. Yeah. Yeah, I said it before. I can see Alex doing that, managing the Jorvik stables. I don't know if she's patient enough for teaching. Yeah, maybe she'll like that too. But like diving into really deep, complex theoretical stuff, nah, that's not Alex. I think she does find the information around everything with Pandoria, all the magic stuff. I think she does find that interesting, but any of the school stuff, no. But horses, yeah, that she is really passionate about. Yeah. Poor James, always getting into trouble. Alex always having to help him. She knows how to stand up for him. Oh yeah, this is not a bugged part yet, but at some point there's a little bit text overlapping thing going on, but I edited most of that out, so. But yeah, if you play this and you get that bug, just keep playing. Then it will resolve itself. But yeah, it may be a little confusing. I think it was, yeah, at this point. Then the library scene text overlaps. But yeah, I edited that out. But yeah, if the bug appears, just keep playing, just keep pressing the stuff, and then you can progress. It's just a little inconvenience. Yeah. Yeah, the ancient bug, they never really get a reference. No, but if I don't remember wrong, at some point there's a quest in game, and then they sort of make up. Like bug sort of respects game's business then. Don't know exactly what quest it was anymore in the US, so. It is a good ending, but still bullies, they do a lot of damage. So it's kind of understandable how James became the way he became. Yeah, he can be a little shady sometimes when it comes to business. A shady, a bit of a tendency to cover things up when they go wrong and do not contact the customer, and then we as a player are the bridge again. Yeah, this is like, I was gonna say the oldest version of Scarecrow Hill, but I think the Soulriders, those games were released before. I'm not sure if those games also had Scarecrow Hill. But if the Soulriders had a Scarecrow Hill-ish version, then that is the oldest one. Otherwise, it's the one you're gonna see now soon. Katja versus Alex. That is really like ice versus fire. Both are really competitive though. Yeah, ice and fire also have parallels, because when it's really, really cold, and it also burns. Or if you touch dry ice, like if you get ice cubes, you don't want to touch them for too long, because then you get frostbite on your fingers. And it also feels like a burning sensation. But it is different than the burning sensation from heat though. But both times it's a burning sensation. I find that is so interesting, like a little bit fascinating maybe. And the opposite elements create a similar sensation in extremes of them. There are probably more stars to get at this part too, and just find a few. Well, at the end, because this chapter ends in Pandoria, there are also some stars to be found. So if you get a little frustrated when playing this, you can't find any more stars, it's probably right, because some of them are in Pandoria too, which is really useful. You'll see why if you haven't played it yet. Oh, the full moon is so gorgeous. It's so big. Like, it's huge. Like, in real life, you wouldn't want that, I think. That wouldn't be right. Then it would be way too big in comparison. It's good actually that she caught up on us, because now you can see what she does actually. Sneaky, sneaky gotcha. Wow, that moon, it's... Oh no, that would not be compatible with Earth probably. No, not in real life. It is really beautiful though. I think this is the only time we see the full moon in game. In general, in SSO, I'd like to see the moon a bit more. Not only when Winter Village is present. And there's our golden apple. It's a little squarish apple. Yeah, the old farms and kind of textures. It's interesting sometimes. Yeah, I must say, old SSO or BSO, it's definitely, when it comes to graphics, an upgrade from this. Because, like, yeah, it looks good enough, especially for the time when it was released. It wasn't also advanced yet, so this is actually quite good already. And sure, in old SSO the textures maybe could use some improvement, but those textures are already better than the ones in these games, I think. But honestly, the graphics in old SSO, they don't need to be updated, considering me, because now that I've played both BSSO and new SSO, I realize those graphics being like that are a big part of why the game was so, I don't know, appeasing. It's just, it contributes to the entire vibe overall, and it just made it really good, even though it are not so, or such modern graphics, not that refined. They're a bit more on the rough side. They are just good, and with the bloom effect and with the dynamic sky, the whole picture is just perfect. It's just right. It felt more alive. New SSO, it all just, yeah, it's modern and it looks new, and it all looks a little bit sharper, but there's just less soul in it. Marching Gas looks really good though, and Golden Hills, I really enjoy it. But yeah, the old graphics, they just have more. There's more soul in it, more vibe, more atmosphere. I just enjoy it more. But I also enjoy the new one. I just enjoy both. This is so mysterious. Like, how did Katja get an apple? Well, it's probably an illusion. Jessica in new SSO now has those illusion powers, or dark new moon powers. And Katja had those powers in this game. So I think that golden apple that she has, I think it's just an illusion. Because that comes with the new moon or dark moon powers. So actually, it makes sense. Of course, she already had it planned from the beginning. Now the pinkiness is gone. Maybe the balance is already being restored quite much by all the work the Soulriders have done already. So much could have gone wrong. Starshine could have died. The bomb could have exploded. Concord could have remained trapped in Pandoria forever. Yeah, the Soulriders were so necessary at this time. Yeah, and here you see Katja explains it too about establishing the mental connection. She has the new moon dark moon powers. It's the opposite of Linda. Her illusion powers, possession. Yeah. So it's just all the actions the Soulriders do in this game. They all make sense and they were all necessary. And they have all made a difference for that balance. Because if Starshine wouldn't have survived at first, then the sisterhood would never have been able to be complete. Then I probably would have failed much sooner already. Because all of this, when you read the books, this is just the beginning of their challenges. Oh, they face a whole lot more in the books. This is so beautiful. So it makes sense. I don't know either. We'll see that soon enough if the pinkish sky returns. But yeah, the sky now being blue during the daylight again instead of pink, it could signify that the balance is being restored. Because the scales were tipping so much into the Pandorians' energy's favor that it was taking over and really seeping into the above world, Yurthik. And we don't want that. We don't want two Pandorias. That's apparently hell to live in, the way Anne described it. That it was so strange and that time felt so slow. No. Residents wouldn't survive. I don't know. I don't think Pandoria itself is evil. But if it indeed has been created by an evil demon, like my theory is, yeah, then perhaps it is after all. Then it does stem from dark magic, dark energy. And of course that feels like really slow, or way too fast. And uncomfortable. Okay, so everything Fripp is going to say here is really interesting. Yeah, Garnok is ancient evil, we got that. But so, when they crashed, Fripp and his helpers, they were also imprisoned, and then they woke up at some point and they got out. But though the generals were imprisoned too, I guess they woke up later. The vessel buried itself deep in the bottom of the ocean. Well, I think when the generals woke up, one of them, because they are not human, so they can somehow survive it. That is what he explains now. The one with the sun powers, Jessica, I think she made a portal to Pandoria. And that is how they got into Pandoria. At first, at least, that would make sense at the bottom of the ocean, because if Pandoria is the underworld of Yarvik, then it would make sense that at the bottom of the ocean you can get there a bit easier. And then at some point in Pandoria they must have made a portal somehow to escape. At least some of them. How was it again in Aldous? So at some point Katja was retrieved. Jessica and Sabine were already there. We started with Sabine. Yeah, and then later, in the latest storyline quest I played in BSSO, which you can see in my latest BSSO video, then they were trying to retrieve Elise. So yeah, some of them just got trapped in Pandoria. Okay, I guess the UFO, that is not the starship that crashed. If they got to the bottom of the ocean. Tripp said it's vessel. Yeah, well, either way. Then I don't think that Garnok is a demon that created Pandoria. It's just some other evil creature. I mean, if Fripp travels through so many star dimensions and I don't know what, sure there are also dark ones, like Jessica's dark star, and it's just bad luck that they crashed in Yarvik with Garnok. Yeah, I guess then maybe the demon did indeed do something similar to a demon. He sort of dissolved into Pandoria. Can also be the same sort of action sometimes. Doesn't always have to be opposite. But yeah, I still go with that. The demon then can reincarnate as well, which he then has done through Darko. It's just so interesting, all this lore and theorizing. Even if it's not canon anymore in New SO. Doesn't really matter to me, to be fair, like it is still so interesting all.
So?
Alright. Lots of lore talk in these last two ones. Well, I have the time because they're about an hour. This one even a little bit longer than an hour. The previous one almost. Yeah. I could theorize about it forever. Yeah. So the area around Yarvik stables back then was more swampy, to say so. The water levels were higher. So otherwise, yeah, okay, we've ridden a little bit further now. Otherwise, you would be in the big riding arena. Yeah, actually, The area around your stables, it doesn't really look like this at all. Especially not this stone cave-ish part. No, they did not remake that. Okay, so the sky is still pink here. Yeah, not entirely done with restoring the balance. But it already has held all that the girls did. Here it's not so intense though. So its power it's probably already decreasing. Of course, these are theories. It could also be artistic choice. But I don't think it's a coincidence that in Alex, her chapter, her story, that the pink is, well, less intense. And that normal daylight is returning. Of course, when things change, the old power, it does not let go easily. It's a transitional period, so pink may come back sometimes, more or less, until at some point it's just gonna be gone. Yeah, that's the thing with transitional periods. Old things may return a bit strong for a little while before the new entirely takes over. It's a process, and I guess with this maybe too. Yeah, I failed this the first time and now I was like, oh, I gotta run. Well, of course, because I was also recording at the same time, then it does run a little bit less smooth. And I don't record it runs a lot smoother. It still runs smooth enough, but yeah, there is a difference. Well, actually that was not as hard as I thought it would be. It's the nerves. I was really like, I wanted to get that star. But I already got it though in my previous attempt. I feel bad for Linda, like they just took all her stuff. Alex took it back now, but like, that is so easy for such a couple of goons to target one girl like that. Or a boy like Derek. In the previous one with Anne. Cowards! I don't think they care about that. I think all they care about is just carrying out their orders, and I guess the Dark Core. Yeah, they work for Dark Core or Genie. Dark Core. I guess the environment is not also happy either. No, it's probably pretty toxic. Workers having to work really hard all the time. That image of Garnok. Yeah, I guess Garnok? I guess Garnok just does not at all belong here where he is now. Perhaps that is why he's so mad. Maybe he just wants to go home too. But still, he's a big threat. Even if there's still something innocent. You know, can't take a chance with something like that. Alex also has a lot of action. And it fits her, of course. This one can also be a little tricky, but well, it's doable once you know a little bit of technique with it. But then if you're tired and you have to start over again, that can be annoying. normal dark sky, but that was always the case. Also underwater, of course, typical. Yeah, we want the star, of course. It's just to the right. Now we go to the left. Lots of fallen trees. Yeah, this is more like fallen trees. Not just a log. There's a star here too. Wanna get that first, of course, before we get into business. This, yeah, it may, well, it's not that nerve-wracking. Maybe if you play it for the first time, maybe a little bit nerve-wracking, but you get over that, then actually this is pretty easy. The goons, they don't run that fast. No. I think I already had all of them. Yeah, I did. No, that's not. I didn't want to use Soul Strike. Yeah, not showing the entire route back, it's just the same. Then the other way around. Such a huge mountain in front of me. Yeah, it's a lot of high mountains in Jorvik. That has always been present in all the games. Really liked Norwegian landscape, Swedish. But I know that Sweden is a bit less mountainy than Norway. I just love Norway. Really want to go back this year. It's just a fantastic country. The whole vibe, I just have a connection with it. Because like, I think Sweden is great too, but I don't feel the same kind of connection. I just have something with Norway, Scotland too. Maybe because of past lives or something. There's just, I don't know, this reconnection I feel. I was there the whole time that I was in Norway. Sure. It was also new, I was there for the first time. But it didn't feel new at the same time. It was more like reconnecting with something that I already knew. I want to go to Scotland someday too, but yeah, I already sense that's gonna be an emotional trip. Yeah, I already have it with some Scottish music sometimes that I don't know, make me feel emotional, and I don't have that with all music. So I think if I go to Scotland, that I then am going to reconnect with a lot of stuff too. Right, so this, just keep your distance and then it's easy. I made that mistake so often in the past with this part that I ran into it too quickly and then I lost. Yeah, it's better to do things at a distance with this one. Be a little bit patient. Because yeah, that Soul Strike, it takes some time to load. Oh, yeah, here I was like, shit, but yeah, they made it easy in some way, like, if he kept running after me, yeah, then I might really have been into trouble, but that didn't happen, so. Same pinkish thing. But we did not send him to Pandoria though. Alright, well, that was it. We just have to run back. I was a little confused about it at first. I was like, what do we do now? Is there anything else? But we just run back. Again, through the tunnel. Yeah, I didn't show all of that because it's just running through a tunnel. Not that special to show. You can't miss it. Oh, was that a little... Yeah, little bug. Oh, yeah, no. Your soul strikes, so of course they're not following us anymore. Yeah, this is going to come in real handy. Because there's more action for Alex to do. But I was gonna say Katja, but no. Playing as Alex. That would be interesting. Sort of reverse game. Playing as the Dark Riders. Of course you'd lose them, but still. Now no, then I just want to see another part of this story. Maybe even before meeting the Soulriders. That I just have to survive some challenges. Oh, the full moon is back! Ah, I love that. And now it's the size. It seems a bit more realistic in this one. But I loved the oversized moon in the other chapter though. If the Scarecrow Hill race. This is a little bit more... Yeah. In comparison, no, there's another word for it, but it just doesn't come to mind right now. Maybe I can quickly look it up. Well, never mind. You guys get what I mean. And this is what Devil's Gap looked like back then. Don't think there was a Devil's Gap in the Season Rider games. Yeah, I must say this Devil's Gap, yeah, right. It does indeed remind me of how it now looks in new SSL. Yeah, it is somehow similar. It's really just a lot of stone and plain stone roads. Very mountainy. And yet it's still interesting, especially the woods below. And I must say I like how SSO did Devil's Gap. Always that filter onto one of the few places that are really actually dark. Now the moon looks more on the small side, but this is still more realistic. Except all those stretched, huge stars. That's not realistic, but oh well. Yeah, Katja, we have our ways. Oh, it's soda on James' cap. I never realized that. Oh, it's a fish bug. Don't underestimate him. I lost this once. Because I thought, oh, well, bug, whatever, easy. Just, if you have to run away, it's fine. No shame. Yeah, okay. He hit me first. That's what I mean. It's not that hard to get hit. And then I was like, I'm not losing this. I was like, I'm not gonna be defensive anymore. I'm just gonna attack. And then it works. Just have to go for it. Being careful doesn't really work. Or at least it didn't work for me. But this did. Oh, James is helpless. What is he to do against her magic? Can do nothing. Yeah. Yeah. Make sure you wish for the right things. Using the words can be tricky then. Yeah, because we need a complete sisterhood, otherwise it's lost. However, Elizabeth's sisterhood failed, yet Yarvik wasn't lost. It all survived somehow, so I guess it does not have to be the ending if one sisterhood fails. Oh, this one. This race is always a little bit stressy, because if you do mess up, Katja can indeed catch up on you. I have lost it a few times in the past, so I was really like, I don't want to have to redo this. I was already tired. Yeah, probably should have stopped earlier, but oh well. But yeah, I was already tired and I was like, if I'm gonna have to redo it then I'm gonna be so done. But I managed at once, so I was like, yay! So much water beneath. Well, it's also a new SO. Water beneath Death's Camp. Not such a strong stream, but that doesn't matter. Yeah, this part 2, you can still lose. Gotta take the turns a little bit sharp. Keep that horse moving, then you'll make it. Sticking to the road? It was also my mistake in the past, swerving a little bit into nature. Yeah, then I lost. Then you have to redo it. Those statues. Yeah, really, the old graphics. Banished. Why would she be banished? Oh yeah, right. That was the... No, that was not part of the deal. Why would she be banished? Well, whatever. She doesn't really want to be here anyways. I don't think any of them want to be here. They just want to accomplish their mission and be done with it. Return to whatever dark realm they were living in. But yeah, it gets complicated all the time, so I wonder how that is or was with Sand, like, and the generals. Like, do they still live in the same body all this time? It does look like that. Or do they also die and then get reborn again? Well, the Soulriders certainly do die, and then that same soul reincarnates for the same kind of work, the same kind of powers. But that may not be the same for the Dark Riders. They don't age, I guess, because of their dark magic. It's not really a human body, maybe. It's similar to it. Yeah, this part too. If you just take it easy, don't touch the keyboard too much, then you'll make it just fine. And on the way back you'll just jump. Oh, actually no, I don't think we have to run all the way back. I think it just ends in Devil's Gate. Yeah, luckily Garnok is gone. I mean, Garnok is so huge, like those tentacles. Would he even fit on the screen? Games are all alone. Well, not for long. Now that Alex is back with him.
Oh.
Yeah, he's all good. Yeah, here it ends. We don't have to run all the way back as well. Alright, then now the epilogue. Yeah, a lot more action. Let's see. Oh, I can't see it if the pink sky is back again. Or
Lol.
if it's again normal daylight. He still looks a little bit out of it. The small pupils. Right. I was like, where is Linda running off to? Why are our seals, or the Soulriders seals in Pandoria? It's interesting. Why didn't they think of that before to use that against us though? I guess they thought it was easy to get rid of the horses.
So?
Find the easy thing first, and if that doesn't work, then the more complicated stuff in Pandoria with the seals. Last time in this series that we saw the stables. Alright, yeah, so with this you might think at the ending like, why is the time different? Well, the first time I recorded this, yeah, I had about 20 minutes, but I did it one more time again later, because the first time I recorded it I felt like it looks a little stressy and not so smooth, and just for your convenience I want to show the routes or the route in Pandoria at once, so that you get it right at once how to get there, so that it's easy to follow and understand. Because the footage was a little bit shaky, a lot of turns, so I was like, okay, you know what, I'll reshoot this. That is why I have this amount of time. That is not usual. It's because I did it twice at the same day. And so man, I already gathered more stars here in Pandoria. And I didn't think that you then would still get those stars again, the time you get from them, the second time you do it. Because yeah, there was the initial play that I did this, and then another day I did this for fun, because I just felt like it. And then I was like, I'm just going to record it again. And then I got all this extra time because of the stars I had gathered in Pandoria before. But the thing with this chapter is, you will not have completed all the stars before you go into Pandoria. I tried that, but there are just not any more stars. You can only complete it by also finding all the stars that are in Pandoria. So if you begin this and you're like, why haven't I found all the stars even though I tried so hard? Well, it's because of that. Because some of them are to be found in Pandoria. Here is one, but I definitely don't need it. Yeah, if you are going to do this, you need at the very least 16 minutes. I tracked the time it took. When I was done recording, I took a look at how much time exactly it took me to complete this when fully knowing the route. So this is how long it takes when you just already know the route out of your head. Then it takes about 16 minutes. So if you don't know it and you still have to find and figure it out, then just make sure that during Alex's chapter that you get as much stars as possible so that you have more time to figure it out. And all the stars you find in Pandoria, just take them. They will give you more time. Yeah, at the very least you need 16 minutes to complete this. Well, that's what I tracked anyways when I did it this time, just fully knowing the whole routes and everything. Not a doubt of where I had to go. So, yeah. Make sure you go after stars in Alex's chapter, because you'll need them in the epilogue. But yeah, you can also do it differently. Just try it for fun and see how far you get. Or you use my video when you do this. Yeah. So many ways to complete it. But the first time doing this, oh man, it was stressy. I was really like, where do I go? How do I get there? And where is this seal? I just don't like time pressure, no. But once you've destroyed the last seal, then you can go sightseeing if you want to. So yeah, another little advice when you go to do this, make sure that the last girl you pick is your favorite one. Because maybe you'd rather go do that sightseeing in Pandoria with her than with another, although it doesn't matter that much, but if you'd prefer that. Why I always do and last. And just go check it out a little bit more with her. It is also a bit her territory, or well, she knows how to travel to it. I think Anne can do a lot more with her powers though. If you expand it at some point. Portals in the world of Jorvik itself. Not only just to Pandoria, and I think she already did that a couple of times. And also, maybe you could even extend it to somebody's mind. That you don't need the dark moon powers, but that you use your sun powers to travel into somebody's mind. And I guess that at some point, all powers, if you really know well how to utilize them and to focus their energy, even though it has a speciality that it can translate into almost anything. Yeah. I love doing this though. Now that I just know the powers, it's like, oh, fun. I mean, all of this whole gaming, it's a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm so grateful that SSO just put all of this on their website for free. Not making it another cash grab. Because it's almost impossible to buy all 4 nowadays in English. Or at all. Yeah, no, you can't go sightseeing, Alex. But Anne will be able to do that. Yeah, when you're done with all the seals and you want to do some sightseeing here in Pandoria, do that first before you return, because otherwise you can't do it anymore. Then you'd have to restart all of this again, because once you return to the girls after you're done with all of the seals, and then you can only complete the game. Then you can't go back into Pandoria anymore. So yeah, Alex's seal is also below, but just a little bit of a different route. If you're already stressed, and this is so annoying because you have to destroy these 3 guards as well. Yeah, you still gotta do the work. Dismount and then destroy these guards. I don't think you have to fully restart though. No, because what I did for fun the other time, I went with Alex to Anne's seal to destroy the guard on, because I had plenty of time still to destroy the guard around her seal. But I got a little bit too close, so the guard caught her, but I also hit him somehow. So when I got back to the seal with Anne, he was gone. Yeah, so you can do that if you wish to. You can destroy more of those guards with Alex if you wish. But yeah, if you don't have enough time and you don't know the routes, well, then I would not recommend doing that. Now on our way back. 40 minutes, that's easy, plenty of time. Oh, unless you stress a lot and don't know how to relax then. And otherwise, yeah, a little deviation in route. But I especially found the first time, yeah, these parts down here, that was the most stressful. And I definitely fell into that pink, well, it's not exactly water, pink fluid a few times back then. Nothing serious really happened, but yeah, if a guard catches Alex, you just you're still in Pandoria, then you just get restarted from a point. But if you have already finished with the other girls before that, you won't have to do all of that again. No, you'll still just be in Pandoria. It'll just take a little bit extra time. Oh, maybe I could have shown that too, what it looks like when you fail, but I can also leave some things to be figured out by you guys yourself, of course. Yeah, I want to show everything, but I don't have to show everything. Even though I'd like to, but no, it's not always necessary. Last one. Yeah. Almost 16 minutes. I had plenty of time, so I was like, I can take it easy now. Just putting these things down, so I would say Anne's route is the easiest. Or no, maybe it's actually Linda's. Yeah. Well, yeah, the one with Linda is a little bit less complicated than the one with Anne. But still, those two, Linda and Anne, yeah, I thought those routes are the easiest to do. Just grabbing the star for fun. Okay, yeah, this was not the one when I destroyed the guard and guard with Alex beforehand already. Piece of cake. Just a little click and that's it. And then it's done. Yeah, I still have to write back, but the seals work, it's done. Yeah, and then you can go sightseeing if you wish. I'm just showing you here a little shortcut. Just gotta mind the gap here. This is a little bit faster back to the portal. It doesn't really work when you ride towards and seal, but away from it then it does. As you see here, it's a little shortcut. Last ride out of Pandora. Who knows, maybe I'll ever do the season riders someday too, but I don't know. It's a lot of dailies, that game. Or those games. And this is storyline quest, which is way more interesting. Well, it's complete! Oh, it's just lovely pink letters that are so typical for SSO. How long do I still have? Oh, over a minute. Yeah, that was it already. This whole series is done. Well, I really like doing this and really enjoyed narrating these videos too. This is only a little part of their story. They're gonna go through so much more. Yeah. Yeah, this was so fun. Yeah. Alright, well, thank you so much for watching this video, this whole series. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a good night, day, morning, evening, afternoon, whatever time it is for you. See you in the next video. Bye!